Good evening, everyone. This is Observation King here with you again with another video. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about my squash plants over here that I actually planted about 10 days ago. And I didn't make a video on the actual planting of the seeds, but I'm going to show you now since they've actually come out of the soil. Now, unfortunately, since I'm not able to go out to the allotment, which I had planned to do this year because of the pandemic that's going on, I decided to have at least one squash plant on the balcony in a container just to see if it will work this time, because I tried it before a couple of years ago, I believe, but I didn't quite follow the procedures that I was supposed to follow, and I got lots of squashes, but they never grew, and I know exactly why that happened, but at the time I didn't have a lot of knowledge on that particular plant, but now, 2 years later, I know a lot more, and I'm continuing to learn, and now I know what needs to be done. So you might be wondering why I have 6 instead of actually needing 1. But the reason I decided to do this is because I wanted to see which seedling would actually appear to be the strongest one. You can see that there's a size difference between, for example, these two. They're all exactly the same age. They all came out exactly the same time, with the exception to this one, but I'll explain that soon. And you can see that that one is bigger, the one in my hand, than the one in front of it. Now that would actually give me, or is more likely to give me, a stronger, more healthier crop than this one, because you can see that the genetics allows it to have bigger leaves, so therefore the rest of the plant would be a lot more vigorous as it grows. So the reason I tried 6 is to do a comparison with all of them to see which one is going to be the best. And out of all of them, this one appears to be the most vigorous so far, the biggest leaves, it looks the healthiest, and it's quite straight in comparison to the rest, which are still good, but they're a lot smaller. I didn't really want to do this, but I'm going to have to get rid of these 5. I've decided to get rid of these 5 and just basically continue to take care of this one and give it everything it needs, give it all the care I can give it, and then hopefully that will grow into a nice healthy squash plant, which will give me at least 1 squash, because remember, it will be in a container. There's a very limited amount of nutrients in the container. It can only provide the plant a certain amount of nutrients for a certain period of time, which is a lot different to if you have it in the bare ground. So that's basically my squash plants here. And also another thing I wanted to let you guys know about it is that I actually had saved these from a butternut squash. That's the variety it is, by the way, that I had actually bought from the market a couple of years ago. And I basically dried out the seeds. I washed them, then I dried them out, and I put them in an envelope. I'll just get that to show you. So this is the envelope I actually had. I saved, as you can see, that's the date. That was the 7th of April of 2018. That was the day that I actually put the seeds in the envelope when they had already dried. I had dried them before this, and I kept them in here nice and sealed. And the reason I prefer to keep them in an envelope made of paper is because the paper actually absorbs the moisture that may be in the seeds after you wash them. So after you wash and dry your seeds, if I put it in the paper envelope, any remaining moisture on the seeds gets absorbed by the paper, whereas if I put it in a plastic bag, it actually starts to sweat and the seeds can go moldy. So I think that's a good point to keep in mind in case you want to save your own seeds. But yeah, so they were in here. I just planted them. They came out. And yeah, so that's basically what it looks like after about 10 days, I believe. I haven't really been keeping track. But you can see from the stage that the plants are at that they're all very young. And yeah, so that's basically my squash plant. So this is the one I'm going to be taking care of. The rest, I'm sadly going to have to let go of them. But at least I know that out of 6 seeds I planted, I had a 100% germination rate. But I won't take too much more of your time. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.